In the time before the Titans, before the gods of Olympus, a great battle was waged.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my God of War Ascension Titan difficulty video walkthrough. This is the Guardhouse, and we're about to meet an old friend and execute him in an extremely violent way. Because, yo dog, God of War was always brutal, but God of War just got a lot more brutal than it's ever been. And some of them are almost uncomfortable because they're so violent, and I think that's a great thing. It's just, it is kind of shocking, and the funny part about it is I played the demo for this, and it was this section right now, and I killed this thing then, and I didn't even react, but when I was playing it on the disc, for some reason, when his innards spill out, it just stunned me. It was like, wow, they've really gone to great detail to make this guy die in a really nasty way, and it looks glorious, and it is, you know, it's Kratos doing what Kratos does best, and that's ruining families and destroying homes. But the strategy here is simple. If you carry the weapon that I picked up originally, throw it at this guy, you can immediately ride him, smash all these dudes, and for whatever reason you kill him after this, and you don't even have to fight him. So there you go. Here is the extremely violent, rib-shattering dismemberment. I say dismemberment, it's more of an evisceration, even though it kind of guts him. But this is something get used to doing, pulling these levers. I do not think that this is as responsive as it should be, because letting go of them, why is there an animation to let go? Why doesn't Kratos just let go? I don't like it at all. Seems very silly to me. Just not as smooth as I would have liked it to be. Don't really think it adds anything to the game. But getting back to what I was talking about in the previous video before it shortly ended, because it was very, very small, just the critics panning this game. There have been 3 God of War games before this. Everybody who counts those 2 PSP titles, it's just silly. You don't count the Game Boy Advance titles in a fucking lineage. You don't count, you know, the PSP games in a lineage. You just don't do that, because those are games made under specific limitations. That, don't get me wrong, those 2 games which I haven't played are probably very, very good, but they're not the console games, so they're not part of the God of War, of what it should be, you know, judged by. You don't judge a console game by a PSP game standard. So there is absolutely no legs to stand on when these reviewers are saying that God of War feels tired, God of War feels played out at this point with nothing new in it, because that is bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. And the reason why is because every single time a fucking Battlefield comes out, or a Halo comes out, or a Call of Duty comes out, even, God, an Assassin's Creed comes out, because they've just fucking announced Assassin's Creed Gold and Silver, where you can actually catch Lugia and Ho-Oh and put them on your pirate ship flag. Like, it's unbelievable how they say it. It's really upsetting to somebody like me, because I love God of War and I love these action games. Oh, by the way, whenever his hand glows, as long as you're not in the path that it travels, you will not take any damage. There's no residual effect, there's no shockwave. The sweep is the one that's going to catch you, and all you need to do is run to the other side of the arena and it will miss you like I'm doing now. An old school God of War trick as well with the rolling. In God of War 3 and this one, Kratos is slow. They slowed him down from 2. I haven't played 2 in a while, and I just remember him being so much quicker, so much more capable, and I don't know why they've given him this weight. They did it in 3 and I disagreed with it there. They've kept it in this and I still disagree with it. You know, Dark Souls is a game which portrays weight very well, and it serves a purpose. God of War, never been about that, and for whatever reason, he rolls really slow now. And to make this a little bit better, when you're rolling and holding the right analog, if you tap square, Kratos will roll faster. This is something that was discovered in the early games, and it works to this day, and it's going to really save your ass. This sequence here, if you spam throw and you don't get unlucky like I just did then, by the lock-on completely fucking me up, you can just use iframes to get through all of the attacks. He'll pick up the bug, he'll rip it apart, and he'll throw it doing damage. So just keep throwing them at the boss, and If you run out of them and he's still alive, just hit his hands a few times, do the Plume of Prometheus, all that good stuff. And just be aware that you do kind of need to dodge the attacks. Sometimes you'll get lucky like I did then. Other times you really need to avoid. Even though I'm not doing, you know, a fantastic job of showing you how to avoid. Because luckily enough, these sections are checkpointed heavily. So, you know, you're not going to have too much trouble with this, even if you do die a few times, which I don't think you will, because you have to get really unlucky to get one-shotted on Titan for some reason, because the game is significantly easier. And it is quite interesting that the checkpoints early on are so lenient, because later on the checkpoints do get a little stricter, especially on boss encounters, especially bosses that have a few phases too. And I definitely noticed that. But all the reviews, getting back to topic, are just speaking about how God of War needs a break, God of War needs change, God of War needs these things. And don't get me wrong, before this came out, I was not ready for another God of War. I thought it was about time that they waited and they did something different. And then I played it, and, you know, the game is great. It's fun. It's fundamentally fun, and that is the main point. The adventure hits every note a God of War should. It's well put together, it's well thought out, it's just fun. And I was thinking to myself the other day that, you know, Assassin's Creed gets a million sequels. Call of Duty gets recycled every year with the smallest of changes, and it garners a lot of hatred from, you know, certain people, but for the majority that enjoy it, it's a good thing. And then I thought to myself, is it really a bad thing if God of War were to do that, even though I know it wouldn't? And I don't think it is, because I know for a cert that I like these games, and if I got this annualized, it really wouldn't bother me, because they always deliver. And it almost seems like the reviews are completely ignoring the fact that the game is good. It's well put together, it's fun. And I don't know, maybe I'm a fanboy, maybe I've got to the point where I'm too deep, you know. I'm just too deep in the God of War series to see the flaws. But to me, I think this has been so unfairly represented in the media, because all they're doing is that they're just portraying it as, you know, as this mum who's like mid-50s and still wearing miniskirts and trying to pick up men and wearing far too much makeup when she should really focus on being a mother and a grandmother and things. That's not to, you know, diminutize the value of being a woman, but just let it fucking go. It's not how it should be at all. It's just silly, and I don't understand it. So yeah, this game gets my seal of approval. I think it's great. I think it's been just completely miscategorized in all the reviews I've seen. And the fucking bros before hoes thing, really? Are we really going down that line? Come on, people. Kratos has been killing every single form of human being all the way through this series. Doesn't matter if it's got tits, got a dick, got snakes for its hair. It doesn't care. Kratos is equally violent to everything, you know? I don't understand why people got so offended over something so silly. The biggest irony being he's not actually committing violence to anything, because it's not even the fucking Fury, it's a clone of her. And oh, so dumb, so dumb. It's wordplay, it's humour, it's stupid. Why the hell do we have to take it like it's this big slant on feminism? You know, Santa Monica are not misogynists. It's just internet jargon that everybody uses, and it was appropriate. So dumb. But this sequence here, when we activate this, you're going to get attacked by just standard dogs. I'm always paranoid around dogs on these games, because I always think they're going to turn into the bigger ones, which apparently only happens on the second game, and I'm glad, because God, those were terrifying fights. But on this, just spam grab. One thing I did notice on Titan is the dogs are really grab happy. They jump on you and you have to tap circle to get them off. Not a fan of tapping buttons to get enemies off me. It really irks me, but every single game does it because somebody thinks it's fun. So just be aware of it and just try to avoid it. Sometimes it can be tough. So we'll see. This is going successful. There we go. Miss my grab, get hit, because for some reason Kratos locked onto the grindy thing for no reason. Did it again just then for no reason. Completely failed me. And I kind of think it's divine justice for spamming grab and for the move being so powerful, because there we go, he got me coming out of the grab that time. But I never remember the throws being that unreliable in the old games. I remember tapping circle and smiling because I knew I was safe. On this game, not so much. And it's interesting because they changed it. And they've changed a few things, which I should really talk about. There's a climbing section coming up, and it's so slow. I don't understand it. This game has implemented more Uncharted-esque climbing sections, which I do think are a nice change. They do look good, they do feel good, as far as, you know, the climactic impression that they give. But compared to the climbing on the old God of Wars, where you could spam X and he would jump super fast and he did everything really fast, and, you know, he made people like me say God of War gets platforming right, only for this game to completely slow it down. Don't understand that choice at all. Really don't. And it's a shame, because the one thing that the old games did really well was speed. And I'm very curious. I'd love to talk to, you know, the game's creative director to just ask, why are these action games getting slower? Ninja Gaiden, slower. Devil May Cry, slower. You know, the technology gets better, but we're slowing the games down, and I don't know why. Is there a demographic of people with really bad reflexes? I don't understand it. But this is the climbing section. This is Kratos' lovely slow climbing abilities, which, God, he used to be so agile, and I assume he's just got arthritis or he's just getting old, but this is a prequel, so maybe he had a hip replacement, a knee replacement, an elbow replacement, and I don't know, maybe technically being a god later on made him faster. I don't know. Still irksome. But in the next video, I'm going to talk about some more of the changes, because so far we haven't really needed much strategy, because it's literally been spam, throw. You know, anybody who's played God of War before, they pretty much know the moves they're going to be using, because this is one of those games. Right here, I was wondering if you could smash that and go down a secret, but you couldn't. And look at this. Why does he have to recover? Why is there recovery frames on jumping up a ladder? Oh, why? Thank you for watching. You take care now.